Welcome to Spiritual Guiding Light. This is SGL, and this is going to be your Friday, July the 20th, July 2021. Your divine guidance is Tribe of Kindred. Just give me one moment. Your universal extension of love is the yes. Emotions and actions, happy, solemn. Affirmations will be released mid-end of your motivational reading. So let's just go ahead and read your Tribe of Kindred Divine Guidance for Friday, July 2021. Home is where the heart is. Give your heart permission to reveal to you the people, places, and activities that feel like home for you. You're in a phase of transition in your life, casting off that which is not true to your heart in favor of that which is really feels like it belongs in your world. Sometimes the mind resists, thinking that if we let go of too much, we'll be left with nothing. And that is better to hold on, even if something isn't right. This prevents you from being able to find your way home. It's safe to trust your heart as it attracts into your world that which is truly meant for you. Your universal extension of love, the yes, with acceptance and being excited in this experience of accepting an open heart. It might seem impossible, but now is the time to receive. There is much abundance waiting for you, but the form it will take is up to you. Be open to every good thing, knowing that you will know the best thing when it comes. I'm going to release one affirmation, and that is my life is just beginning. And I would like to add an additional affirmation. My love is just beginning. I'm going to do a little something different today. May your Friday go accordingly. I'm going to go ahead and shine some lights, right? Because today is the day that we release and we let go. We've been talking about that back end energy, whether that is you or something that could arise within self to the surface. And I'm talking about the guilt and the eerie energy. That if it is you, if it is someone else, release them and accept your happiness in choosing self, new beginning. Everyone deserves a second chance of experiencing new beginnings. Remember the yes, it is up for you. It will be up for it. Okay. There is much abundance waiting for you, but the form it will take is up to you. Do you want to choose to remain stagnant? And this is not a trick question because when you are in a guilt trip, especially if you are a wild heart, you're kind, you're compassionate, and it's not just giving people, places, or people within places, the benefit of doubt. It's just the heart sees good. Everything is seen with art, even the bad. But we can acknowledge that the norm would think what will be considered bad, whether that's to action, verbal, or situation, environment, can be displayed and described. But when you have a wild heart, those things don't take the foresight. That's where the benefit of the doubt comes into play. So I want to shed some light first, because this inner eerie and this guilt, I truly believe that the guilt of willing to be acceptance to move forward, you know, um, in betterment, to endow thyself in love. It's like you earned $1, and all day since the time you woke up, you said, you know what, I'm going to go to the ice cream parlor and I'm going to get a scoop of ice cream. Not only am I going to go purchase the scoop of ice cream, I just want to be in my space. So I'm going to go get my ice cream, right? I'm going to put it in the cup. I want my cone in a bag. And I'm going to fix my ice cream when I get home. And then when I get home, now I feel guilt because I feel obligated now. I no longer am feeling that essence of being present, of first thinking, I want to treat myself in the most simple way that I can. I master that. I complete my vision, right, through action. And the unexpectancy occurs. And now I feel guilty. Why is that? That stems from control, atmosphere. And it can go on and on and on, but no one should have to feel like that. That's the spirit of greed. Okay, moving forward. So, yeah, I want to shed light on this first because I want to motivate you to um, acknowledge the existence, and it's up for you how you want to remove it. Are you going to face it head on? Are you willing to walk away? Because when we walk away, we can, there's potential in turning around. But when we remove it in the sense of plucking, right, that's the way that we do it. So we're just going to go ahead and put some light on this for your divine guidance for Tribe of Kindred. And for some of you who are now just tuning in to SGL, welcome. Okay. We have initiation. We have warrior woman. Let's go ahead and get one more. And we have trust your path. For those of you in transformation from the bottom, working your way up to the top. Okay. First, I want to say, if you're able to survive at the bottom, you should be training yourself to be able to, as you rise, you need to be able to train yourself to fill in every void or every gap, every crack, every trigger, so that trickery has no room to deceive. It's like standing in place and you're focused, and there's all this movement trying to trigger to take you off of alignment. It's that fast of a blink of an eye. It can happen. Your blessings of the day can be limited or delayed because you have those who can see your potential. And especially if you're actively demonstrating what people see as a potential, then that's where those distractions and those delays come in. Because if you respond and accept, right? I truly believe that's another form of giving away your power. Saying, I give you permission to irritate me, frustrate me, upset me. That's why it's very important to fellowship, associate with those of whom your heart's desires of alignment. Now that consists of personal, but in pertaining to business, for any of the entrepreneurs, if you guys are tuned in, this is those longevity of business relationships. It's where personal and business and etiquette and decency and order, not foul. No, we're talking about healthy personal and business relationships. The marble effect of harmony. And then what I really, 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 really like about the warrior woman pertaining to your divine guidance of tribe of kindred is because it's no longer a wall barrier that is defensive, or there's just blockage of, no, you can't come in because I'm playing the victim. No, what this is saying, I am aware and I've seen you before. I've experienced you before. And I'm not telling you, and I'm not proposing to you, nor am I sending you an invitation to show me your best wicked ways of conniving and trickery, gossip, etc. You fill in the blank. That causes dysfunctional and destructive behavior. This particular sword is saying, I am willing to hold my tongue. This is not a sword of battle. No, this is not, I know more than you. Then talking about the warrior woman of communication. For those of you who are new entrepreneurs, you have to be willing to serve, removing self. That's why it's very important to, if you are in an industry, whatever the product and service may be, inspiring entrepreneur, it's up for you to claim your entrepreneurship today. You're not obligated. But how long are you going to make it a hobby? Is it an excuse? Well, I just want to get more opinions that, yeah, the pat on the back, you should turn this into a business type thing, ego of procrastination, So, um, the baby of ego, procrastination, the child of ego, right? Because the great, great, great grandpa of ego that is no piercing. That's called a selfless soul who was willing to marry ego. Moving forward, do, 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 do. Trust your path. I kind of went left with that, inspiring entrepreneurs. It's just, you know, saying yes to opportunity. And it's so quick when I tell you, you can literally have create an assignment for yourself, right? And then next thing you know it, you get a call or someone shows up and then you're distracted. That priority. And that's why it's very important to align yourself with those that can maintain that support system if you guys are in the same um, community, I should say. There's no need to explain hiccups, right? With branding something or trying to market something when you're talking to someone whom, you know, all they know is to watch. Do nothing else but watch. And it becomes confusing because watchers, that is an honor, right? So, tribe of kindred, I carry your heart, I carry it in mine. Let's go ahead and put some direction. This is more so I carry your heart, I carry it in mine, can definitely um, represent unification. Whatever your entrepreneur, I don't, this is not even entrepreneur motivational read, collective, whether, I need to breathe. Maybe we need to breathe for a minute. It's Friday, July 2021. The underlining of unification is that we all feel, we all have the enabling function to establish, maintain emotion. And with that emotion, being able to control the tongue, right, is only difficult for those who need to have the last word, are the loudest one in the room. The loudest one in the room doesn't necessarily have to be verbal in tone. You fill in the blank and pertaining to what would loudness mean to you. Would it be overbearing in space? I need my space to be able to create. I need my space so that I can maintain my happy, because when people places are people within places, If they've become comfortable with such acts, it's because the boundaries were not clear, direct. I don't believe in nipping in the bud. That's saying today we can come to a mutual agreement. But tomorrow, you know, it's then transcribed and repeated. The event is repeated into a communication whirlwind where Sally knows what Joe did, and Sally told Sarah's, you know, second affirmation, everything that is happening now is happening for my ultimate good. We have priorities. It can be difficult to say yes in regards to too good to be true. You fill in the blank of whatever that could be. It can be an opportunity. It can be a new motion to establish a fellowship. You fill in the blank if it's an individual or people, which is two, group, three or more. Willing to accept the new beginning, the two pentacles praying to the priorities, the fool willing to say, sure, I'm not a gesture, but I would definitely take the risk. In being happy and be solemn in doing so. Third affirmation, my body is healthy, my mind is brilliance, my soul is tranquil. Put some masculine on nice. For those of you who are now tuning in to SGL, welcome. We have the Four of Pentacles. Holding on to dream, holding on to vision, holding on to your solemn, formal, dignified self. Feminine energy. And that is a masculine energy, more of a security, putting it into someone else's hands instead of your own. Feminine, Nine of Voices, willingly. Being the full exposed. That's why the tongue is easily willing to be controlled. Why do I need to prove to you what I have been through? My formal, dignified self tells you a story all by itself. Fourth affirmation, my ability to conquer my challenges, limitless, my potential to succeed in is infinite. Let's get overall direction here. We have doubt. That is normal. Judgment in reverse. That's normal. Normally, when doubt occurs, is because I don't want to make it seem like everything's an addiction, but it is. You doubt once, you doubt twice. It's gambling. Doubt is gambling. Risk, it doesn't carry doubt. Risk is saying, I'm in. Let's do this by any means. Doubt is gambling. Putting in the energy of stagnant. Trust your path. Doubt will delay. And then we have the Five of Swords. Remember I was telling you about that sneakiness, that ego. Focus on repairing the damage, but focus on repairing the damage before it's too late, because your reputation is on the line. What's more important to you, being right or isolate yourself from everyone else? Moving out of the Four and being a fool of doing so. Normally, this is normally the acts of repetition. You know, you call the person for it is you. It's the same patterns. Now, it's not the perceiving someone when you kind of already know their movements or what they're going to say or whatever. No, this is more so the been there, done that I was releasing. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this too shall come to pass. And as it remains in the past, allow the history to carry your experience, to live on, and allow your experiences to change someone else's situation. Because it is difficult to grow when the mind is stubborn. The heart is willing. The heart is always willing. That's why they say head over heart, right? The heart is not the issue. It's the mind and the flesh that's combative. And this too shall come to pass. Being able to explain how you're able to maintain happiness collective, because that is a job, it is a duty, your responsibility, no one else's. It's not even the birds or the bees nor the sun's responsibility for your happiness. How you perceive your day, how you perceive your emotions and your feelings. If you're unsure, that doubt that says, I approve any stagnant illusion. And then you're thinking someone could be, for whoever this may be, they're laughing at me, they're looking at me. The guilt that is should and needs to be removed. I would not replant guilt. I would not replant Erie. Being in a sunken place does not feel good. One thing to consider, if you are in a sunken place, have you ever paid attention to look around to see who you're holding on to and sinking them in the quicksand as well? And they did not ask. But because remember the heart, what I was telling you, it's going to be accepting and loving. You cannot, the heart's main function is a heart. Love and heart are two different things, yes. But the heart pumps love. That is its true function. A cold heart, the end of the thing, a cold heart's wholeheartedly organ is love. But because it's paralyzed, right? That is a cold heart. It is in a coma. And it's up for you if you want to be supportive or pull the plug to a cold heart. There's a possible 1% of saving a cold heart. So there is a 1% of saving a cold heart. And we have the 10 of Swords. For those of you who may or could have lost someone and you feel like a failure, depart from that train of thought. I always recommend to go receive services such as counseling. For those of you in the back who are like, I want to go to counseling, but maybe your counseling services or psychiatric services are connected with services that cater to high risk services, and you don't want your good deeds to be evil spoken of. Well, they do have services over the phone, right? But then this is the part where the 9 of voices, being exposed. But if you know your true self, you're going to better mental health, which is very, very important so that you can be able to be proactive with your thoughts and with your body. To thrive, you have to communicate. And if you don't have energy to communicate, essence withers, but essence can always be restored. But don't wait until it's at 1%, because then that's where that addiction falls into play, right? And now your heart is in a coma. And you cannot blame, which, we do. We blame. Moving forward, we have the 2 of Swords, avoidance. You're aware, whether this is you or someone else, that you're experiencing this right now or have. I don't, common sense, we watch a TV show and it's like common sense. They tell you, oh yeah, such and such did this. And it's like common sense. Like, why would you do that? Right? Okay, well, common sense when it's you. It's because we weigh our options. We care about what we care about, whether that's loved ones, family, colleagues, employer. Some people are in love with their employer, not the owner, just the whole process of belonging. They look forward to belonging, and that's all they know. And that's what keeps them to thrive and live. They have something to look up for, to be a part of a movement of unification and allowing the world to go and move and to be able to exist. Let's put some rebel on this. We have, you're giving away your power and you are going through some tough things. Let's put one more. Get some sleep and be grateful. And get your head out of your behind, which means I think that's ego too. That is your divine guidance for Friday, July 2021. Be open-hearted, be accepting, be excited about being accepted. For those of you who are solemn, you're formal and dignified, you're a formal individual, and live it, be it, and then surround yourself with kindred hearts. And I'm going to read your divine guidance one more time, the tribe of kindred, so that you can really understand that you are not alone. And sometimes we sacrifice of limiting ourselves, and we kind of shrink ourselves so that other people can feel good about themselves. Home is where the heart is. Give your heart permission to reveal to you the people, places, and activities that feel like home for you. You're in a phase of transition in your life, casting off that which is not true to your heart in favor of that which is really feels like it belongs in your world. Sometimes the mind resists, thinking that if we let go of too much, we'll be left with nothing, and that is better to hold on even if something isn't right. This prevents you from being able to find your way home. It's safe to trust your heart as it attracts into your world that which is truly meant for you. That is your divine guidance for Friday, July 2021 collective tribe of kindred. I carry your heart, I carry it in mine. Okay? Moving forward, don't forget love is kind, love is gentle, and that is you.